Hello, I am Shreya Chokshi. I am a student of Executive Masters in Project Management for the Organizational Behavior class for summer 2025. We were assigned a research project for a company named Apex Dynamics, who is a pioneer in AI driven logistics since its inception in 2012. This company now faces significant challenges that threatens its once thriving culture and performance. Rapid expansion, leadership turnover, poorly managed acquisitions, and a shift to remote work have led to a fragmented culture, low employee engagement, a 35% turnover increase, and declining client satisfaction. As an organizational behavior consultant, I have analyzed Apex's issues using principles from the textbook assigned for this semester, the Organizational Behavior Managing People and Organizations by Griffin and Phillips. I've reviewed all the 16 chapters that we have studied in the entire semester so far to uh, analyze the company's challenges, propose a strategic plan to restore its vitality, and address key discussion questions focusing on leadership, structure, communication, motivation, culture, and change management. Let's dive into the organizational challenges that are being faced by the company. So, Apex struggles stem from interconnected issues across multiple organizational behavior domains. The first one being leadership misalignment. The 2020 departure of a CTO created a leadership gap, worsened by upper management adoption of a transactional leadership style, prioritizing metrics and investors' expectations. This approach clashed with mid-level managers' participative styles, fostering confusion and distrust among employees who valued the autonomy of Apex's early days. Transactional leadership focused on rewards and penalties failed to inspire or align with the company's collaborative roots. The second challenge being outdated organizational structure. Apex's flat structure, effective during its startup phase, is inadequate for its current 600 employee multiple office organization. The absence of clear role and accountability has led to departmental loss, intensified by acquisition of two hierarchical firms. These stripes have hindered collaboration, slowing innovation, and complicating decision making. The third challenge faced by this company is the communication gap. The transition to remote work initially sustained productivity, but later revealed communication breakdown, bureaucratic feedback loops, and lacks of transparency around the new objectives and key results. OKR performance system fueled distrust. Employees, particularly senior engineers, felt sidelined, perceiving the system as a betrayal of Apex's collaborative ethos. The fourth uh, challenge was declining motivation and engagement. The OKR system linking bonuses to quarterly targets overlook intrinsic motivators like autonomy and recognition central to Apex's original culture. This misalignment combined with burnout and limited growth opportunities drove high turnover and low job satisfaction as highlighted in the anonymous surveys. The fifth challenge was fragmented organizational culture. Apex's once cohesive culture of innovation and collaboration has splintered. Acquisitions introduced conflicting hierarchical values, and matrix driven management alienated long tenured employees. New hire while feel disconnected from the company's legacy, creating a cultural divide. Resistance to change was the sixth and the last challenge that this company was facing. Senior engineers resisted technological and procedural changes, perceiving them as threat to autonomy. This reflects as failure to prepare employees for change, as described in the Levin's change model, which we studied as a part of chapter 16. Newer employees more adaptable, feel excluded, and highlighting differences in personality and tenure. Combining all the six challenges, I have created a strategic plan. Let's dive into the next slide. To restore Apex's collaborative spirit and performance, I propose a comprehensive plan addressing leadership structure, communication, motivation, culture, and change management. All this grounded in organizational behavior theories we studied in the entire semester from chapter 1 to 16. Taking on the first uh, strategic plan strategy, championing the transformational leadership. The strategy here is to inspire trust. CEO Alexis Grant should fully embrace transformational leadership to unify employees around a shared vision. For this strategy, the actions could be taken in terms of regular town halls could be arranged, which could expand listening tours to ensure all employees feel valued. There should be a way to have shared vision and articulate a clear vision of Apex as collaborative leader in AI technology logistics. There should be a good mentorship, providing individualized consideration to senior engineer addressing their concerns as we identified it in the challenges. Another could be leadership training to train managers in transformational leadership techniques for alignment across levels. And the rationale behind all of these actions and strategy is to counter distrust. Transformational leadership addresses distrust caused by transactional methods, and the other rationale could be align with its culture, aligning with Apex's original culture, addressing survey feedback and leadership disconnects could improve the situation and it could champion the transformational leadership. The another one is transitioning to a hybrid matrix where we could balance autonomy and accountability. Redesigning Apex's structure to balance autonomy with accountability is one of the best strategies right now. And the actions that could be taken to perform this strategy is to have cross-functional teams, form teams combining functional expertise with project-based goals to reduce loss. Chief Integration Officer could be appointed to align cultures post-acquisition and ensure coherence with Apex's values. There should be an innovation hub which can create a structured framework for employees to pitch ideas, preserving autonomy. And the rationale behind all of this actions and the strategy was to enhance collaboration. Matrix structure fosters collaboration and reduces silos, and improved accountability can clear goals and roles. Supporting innovation is one of the best thing to do right now by a structured framework and preserving autonomy, which could encourage innovation at large. The next is communication. Fostering transparency and dialogue is really important right now to improve communication. Overhaul communication processes to ensure clarity and inclusivity is the strategy for this, and the actions could be again holding virtual town halls, launching monthly town halls and digital platforms for real-time updates and Q&A sessions, which could lead to active listening and training. Train managers in active listening and feedback techniques to address employee concerns promptly so that they feel they are heard at some point. Another action could be transparent OKR system, clearly explaining the OKR system's purpose and involve employees in the refinement to reduce resistance. And the rationale behind all of these actions is to mitigate perpetual biases. Here, improved communication reduces misunderstanding and biases, and that could indeed rebuild trust. Regular updates and open dialogues can rebuild this trust and address disconnection, and at large, it could lead to increasing engagement. all the inclusive communication that happens, it encourages employees participation and engagement, and it could have a good impact on clear communication, which could lead to having a better culture here in the company. Another was balancing intrinsic and extrinsic rewards. We've always seen that motivation to employees has been a major concern for all the companies, for all the employees as a manager, and revising the performance system to align with both intrinsic and extrinsic motivators rewards is one of the best strategy to follow, and the actions for that could be non-monetary rewards. It can just be like introducing recognition programs and career development path to motivate employees. And this was defined in the Heisenberg two-factor theory, where it says non-monetary reward align with the intrinsic motivators. Another could be the clear links. By ensuring clear links between efforts and performance and valued outcomes such as flexibility work option can be really helpful. Expectancy theory that we studied through the textbook mentions clear links between effort, performance, and outcome motivate employees, and we can really use that concept here in addressing the challenge. Again, the same autonomy in OKR allows teams to co-create their own OKR, preserving autonomy while maintaining accountability. And the rationale behind all of this is to reduce burnout. A balanced approach reduces burnout and turnover, preserves autonomy, and it could co-create OKR while maintaining accountability, which is really important. Another one is rebuilding a unified identity. While employees feel disconnected, realigning culture with Apex's original value of collaboration and innovation becomes really valuable here. And for that, we could co-create cultural statement, which could be developed with employees emphasizing inclusivity and creativity. Onboarding programs could be implemented where share Apex's history through storytelling, connecting new hires to legacy value could bring everyone on the same page, and celebrating successes. Of course, celebrating cross-functional successes to reinforce cultural alignment has been proven as a good motivation for all the employees and bring out a good culture in the company. And the rationale behind all of these actions is to foster engagement, have a strong shared culture, increasing employees' engagement and commitment, and reduce fragmentation. The next is implementing Kotter's 8-step process. It is mainly to manage resistance. It is to use the 8-step change model to drive transformation and manage resistance. Create urgency could be one of the action where we can link employees' feedback to declining client satisfaction to create a sense of urgency. Guiding coalition, clear vision, empower actions by streamlining feedback loops and remove bureaucratic barriers. Providing short-term wins, like pilot new systems in one department to generate short-term wins could be a best recognition here. Consolidate gains, update policy and training to anchor changes. And the rationale behind all of these actions is just to address resistance. Kotter's model involves employees and builds momentum. It drives transformation and it sustains changes. There were a few discussion questions around this in terms of leadership style, organizational structure, addressing resistance, realigning culture, and all of those questions were fairly answered in detail in the report provided as a part of the submission, but I would also like to discuss that here briefly. What leadership styles would be most effective for Alexis grant? Transformational leadership is the most effective approach, and that leads the Apex's transformation. The company's challenges that we already discussed, like distrust, disengagement, and cultural fragmentation, require a leader who can inspire and unify employees. Transformational leadership involves articulating a shared vision, encouraging innovation, and addressing individual needs. Unlike the transactional style that alienated employees, Alex's listening tours and task forces align with transformational principles. By mentoring resistant engineers and communicating a clear vision, we can rebuild trust and drive change here. Next question was, how might the organizational structure be redesigned? A hybrid matrix structure is recommended to foster communication and accountability while preserving autonomy. And this was discussed while we were discussing the strategies and actions that combining functional expertise with project-based teams, Apex can reduce the loss and enhance collaboration. A CTO ensures post-acquisition alignment, and Innovation Hub supports creativity within clear guidelines. This structure addresses the flat structure's shortcomings while maintaining Apex's innovative spirits. Third question was, how should Apex Dynamic approach employee resistance to changes? Apex must address resistance by leveraging insights into individual differences and values that we had learned in chapter 3 and 4. Senior engineers, protective of autonomy, likely resist changes perceived as intrusive. Using Levin's change model, Apex can unfreeze by mindsets by involving engineers in system design, addressing perpetual bias such as loss aversion. Tailored training and coaching can align individual goals with organizational objectives, while inclusive decision-making engages newer employees. And the last question was, what steps can Apex take to realign its culture with its strategic goals? Apex should use Kotter's 8-step process that we discussed previously as a strategy to realign its culture with its strategic goals of innovation and client satisfaction. Co-creating a cultural statement really fosters buy-in, while onboarding and storytelling program connects newer hires to Apex's value, and this indeed fosters the company culture. Collaborating and celebrating successes reinforces alignment. Leadership must model inclusivity regardless of new hire or experienced employees, and regular culture audits ensure sustained progress. After analyzing this case, Apex Dynamics stands at a crossroad. By embracing transformational leadership, adopting a hybrid matrix structure, enhancing communication, balancing motivation, rebuilding a unified culture, and implementing structured change management, Apex can definitely reclaim its position as an innovative leader in AI logistics. This strategy is rooted in organizational behavior principles that we studied throughout the semester, addresses the root cause of disengagement and fragmentation, paving the way for renewed trust, collaboration, and success. Thank you so much for this opportunity to learn more into organizational behavior. All these assignments really helped towards my growth into becoming a great project manager and learning how the employees, how the colleagues behave and understand and reciprocate better to better manage my projects. Thank you.